Hey, what's up everyone? It's Rinku, and no patch notes today because we actually have an entire presentation to look at. Now this video may be a little longer than others, but we're going to be looking at the video that they gave us and looking at the entire page for plans of the future for BDO KR, which of course will eventually come to us. So let's just take this all in. So this is the official trailer. It is everywhere on the internet right now, but of course, because this is my video, I'm going to talk over it. And this update is crazy. A long time ago, they did announce that they were making a sea monster, like the size of a continent, like the size of like 100 ships, and oh man, did they deliver. So legit, they're pulling through with the craziest sea boss ever. This doesn't seem like a world boss. This seems straight up like a fucking raid boss. You need to know what you're doing. You need to have a fleet of boats to even stand a chance against this. Look, holy fuck. So you have to have a ship, you have to have a sailor, you have to have like really good maneuvering skills to go around all those rocks, and then you have to have tons of people to shoot everything. Like, holy shits. This is just crazy. This could be one of the hardest bosses we have in BDO. And to think that you're going to need sailors and hunters to take it down, that's kind of crazy to think about. When it actually comes out, it'll all depend on the reward and what it actually is, but from just that trailer, holy shit. Alright, so this is the part where I'm going to read basically the entire page, and this time it's of the GM notes instead of the usual patch notes. This is going to be more of tons of updates that aren't in the game yet but are coming in the future, and I do want to just point this out. All I'm doing is reading this and putting my opinion on most of what I read, because that's pretty much what I do in the patch notes. Some people comment like all you did was read the patch notes. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm here for. So I don't know why you're commenting that, but if you're still here, then let's look into this. So this will be also linked in the description if you want to read along, read whatever, but I'll just read this, I guess. On August 9th, Black Desert Online future updates have been revealed via GM notes. So this, I guess, is a translation of these GM notes, which it'd be curious to see if someone has a different translation or if everything is spot on, but usually every translation is spot on and recognized as the official translation, so yeah. The only reason I say that actually is because later down in these notes, I believe there'll be parts where I read where they kind of leave it open-ended in the English language, where they could have where they're just gonna there's places in these notes that will trigger people to ask more questions, is basically what I'm getting at. And if I feel that is the way on anything, I guess I'll point it out. But getting into this now. The updates include Robum's Enlightenment. This is basically the second awakening that has already been released with a video, a very shitty video. I have a video on my YouTube channel, but it's interesting. Also, the new Ocean Raid, which we just saw the video of up here. Also, Black Spirit's Training, an AFK, or an KF, EXP farming system. So, I believe that's AFK. That's interesting. New siege weapons, that's actually kind of cool. Mystic's Awakening, which all it says is that she will not have the summoning people. She will not have the same exact golem that Striker has. That's all they say in this about the Awakening. By the way, they don't say anything other than about the second Awakening, other than the fact that they're going to add more in the future, and what we saw in that video is probably what we're going to get. That's how I can take it. There's already a trigger thing. They didn't even say that. We'll have to look at the official sayings. But it sounds like the 2 in the trailer is all we're going to get at first, and they plan to add more. We're just skipping a lot of stuff before we even get into it. But yeah, going back to the Mystic's Awakening, there's no information what the Mystic's Awakening is. We have seen a screenshot of a leaked whatever, of a weapon. She will have the same glove, but she will not summon the same golems. So that's all we know about Mystic's Awakening. I looked deep for those Mystic Awakening news in here, and there's none. So that's all we get. A new tutorial system. Okay, cool. I heard in the tutorial system down there that there'll be life skills. I don't know why I'm saying this because we'll read it anyways, but there's gonna be new life skill tutorial quest. Well, not tutorial quests, but quests to get into life skills, starting from the tutorial, like after the, I don't know. We'll read it. Also, new gears that have high base damage but cannot be enhanced. This is actually interesting, and we'll look at it below. So now that I'm done spoiling everything, let's actually look below and read the rest of this page. And I don't even have to scroll down. The part I was just talking about, more skill combinations will be added later. This is talking about the Second Awakening, aka Robom's Enlightenment. It was first revealed a few weeks ago. It'll be added to BDO soon. You can combine 2 different pre-awakening skills to create a more powerful skill. And it is a system that'll make pre-awakening skills more effective, but the highlighted part is the most important part. More will be added later. So I would assume the video is already including all of them, because that's what they officially announced. So there will be more later, which sucks. So I don't know how I feel about that. Next up, straight into is the class balance. They didn't even preview this up there. This was the old chart that everyone has been going off of. I wish they had like charts since the beginning, but yeah, so I'm not sure exactly where this chart is pulled. Hopefully from like the Arsha Arena or something. I'm not sure. Like I don't know if this is just like every death in game or what this is, honestly. But assuming it's reliable information, and then this is a PvP KD ratio. By the way, the colors are horrendous. Really terrible. So terrible, I just needed to make up a new word. It's completely trash. I don't know what color's what, because like 3 of them look the same. I'm just going to point out, this is Wizard, this is Dark Knight, this is Witch. Now, if we look at this is that hump. This is the hump right here, and this is us now. So there was a long time where like those 3 were above everyone, fluctuating, but according to them, we are at least in line. We're still on top, but according to them, we're at least more in line with other classes, as well as this dip. It took me a second to realize what that was. I'd assume the new class, either Striker. Well, I don't know like which one's which anymore, but yeah. So this is definitely the Striker. This is actually where Dark Knight was, and of course it rose instantly. But Striker actually dipped. They were actually really bad in the beginning. They got buffed, and then buffed, and then buffed, and then they seem to do okay. Now, I've heard a lot on Striker, just personal preference, or personal, like, persuasion. I've been persuaded that Striker seems to be, like, the absolute best in the game for, like, 1v1. But their main thing about Striker is that they're really good against magic dealers. Again, and the top 3 are magic dealers. So they may seem like the best because they're able to like completely counter the top. But according to these charts, they're not quite there yet. I'm not sure when these charts were taken as well. They could still be rising. I have no idea. I'm just trying to like make sense of this chart. So everything else seems about pretty much the same. I mean, they really haven't changed too much. Now, if we start going down here, there's more information about even more stuff. So each paragraph with something new. First of all, the training manual, the Black Spirits Training, was an event-exclusive item that allowed AFK EXP farming for normal EXP to level your character. This will be a regular in-game content. Now, do you guys really think that they're gonna put it straight in NA or EU, or do you think this would be somewhere on the pay-to-win? Well, it's not pay to win, but like I don't know, like NA and EU are different, you know. We have like rights, I guess. But basically, if we cry loud enough on the internet, sometimes they do hear us. So do you think this will be something that people actually care about? The whole thing is, I don't know scaling. I guess it was already in the game from an event. How much EXP could you really get? It says you will get less EXP than grinding does, but it will definitely help you level up more faster. Okay, this is why I question the translation. More faster. But the real question is, will the statement remain true after level 60, 61, 62? Will I legit actually like make a significant amount? Like, could I make like 1% at 60 within a week if I just AFK'd that long? Like, I don't know. Like, is it actually long enough where in a year I could level up purely off this? Because that would be kind of crazy if like a year passes and everyone levels up just from doing nothing. I don't know. It'd be crazy to think about, because this game is gonna be lasting like years and years. So like, if you AFK'd in this training for as long as possible for like a year, what level would you end up being? Like, it's just kind of crazy to think about. If it's a really small scale, like you'd end up being level 56, then obviously no one will care. But like, I don't know. If it can push people like even higher levels, that'd be kind of crazy to think about. If it like stopped at 56, you know, again, that'd be totally understandable. But if this is gonna be something the level 60s do, I don't know. It's kind of creepy. I don't like it. We also have a new siege weapon, the Siege Axe. I love new siege weapons, and it gives people that don't have the gear to stomp 500 gear score people something to do. And I always like that they're trying to add. I mean, this is kind of like the end game content, right? The sieges, so it's kind of cool. But a Siege Axe can do damage to a wooden fence. I think it's cool that you have more like things to play with in a war than just classes and just fighting, because it really does add to the whole experience. So they already have the sniper rifle, by the way. They released it's like the hunting musket, but it's for sieges and it stuns people. Now they have the Siege Axe that can do damage to fences. It will do damage irrelevant to the character's AP. So no matter what gear you are or whatever, you'll still be able to hold this axe and do massive damage to these wooden fences. Pretty awesome. Now, this is a picture supposedly representing the AFK experience method, just punching a dummy. I guess your character will just attack a dummy. That's what they intend to get free experience. It's just weird. I don't like it. I mean, why? Just why? I don't know. But also the Mystic will be added. Her awakening will be coming soon. The notes said that her awakening will not involve the Echo Spirit and will be different from the Striker's awakening. That's all we know. It will not involve the Echo Spirit. We also know from an in-game render that her awakening weapon is a glove. It is a glove, the fancy dragon-looking glove. So that's her awakening. This is now the art of her just standing there with nothing special except for that little flare thing on her glove. That's it. That's all we know about the Mystic's awakening. So it's going to be really crazy to see what her awakening actually is. Will anyone fight by her side at all? Or will she just be like a pure badass? Will she just punch her way through everything? I'd be really curious to see, because a lot of people wanted a combat only class, and they were really bummed that Striker had a summon. That's something that a lot of people did not like, so it'd be kind of crazy to think that Mystic would be 100% solo with punches. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do that, but we'll see. So, more stuff. The tutorial system will be reworked. The Black Spirit will help the new adventurer throughout early game, and they'll be allowed to learn about the game step by step. It'll also teach about life skills, which will be added, so the player can learn every fun that the game provides. You'll be able to learn every fun that this game provides. I just want to point that out. It's a lot of fun, guys. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully. A lot of fun that I'll probably never experience. Alright, let's move on. And we have more bombs to drop. So just like the Asula Red Eyes accessory set, I actually talked about this in the last week's patch note on Korea. If you guys missed it, you guys can check it out. But they released an accessory set that apparently dropped in the Media region, and now they're even having like armor and weapons drop. And these are really high stat, like really good items. They just can't be enhanced. Like if these could be enhanced, they'd be like best of game. They're made because they cannot be enhanced. Now this adds a lot of options, and I'll talk about that in a second, but let's just look at it. So this is it. This sword, I just looked it up, 77 to 91 AP. This is probably on equal terms as a duo weapon, and it has 2 gem slots. What the fuck? It has 77 to 91 damage. That's better than pretty much every pry weapon I looked at. So unless you're gonna be going for duo or higher, this can take you a long fucking way. Now it has a 52 defense point helmet, a 38 defense glove, 36 defense shoes. Also, the helmet skill experience gain. If you're even beginning to unlock skills, unless you're like a level 60 or 61 with every single skill unlocked, this will guaranteed be like what you want. Like basically everyone is gonna be riding this helmet train. As soon as you get this helmet, like it's gonna be this helmet, the roaring magical chest piece. That's probably why they don't include a chest piece, because these are probably the items to go with the chest piece. You guys know how people rock the chest piece until they go for pride, duo, or try like armor later down the road, when they like really want more defense points. This is gonna be the same way. Like when you get this, you really don't have to build a plus like 15 ultimate green item. Like you don't have to like go stop at pry. Like you can literally save your entire money and go this. Some people might actually stay with this until boss gear. I would argue that eventually like the stats catch up on you and you could get away with like full try green armor pretty easily, but this is gonna make most new players want to get this and maybe get a few duo pieces. Like want to see the entire stats of everything, if there's anything left to be uncovered. But I mean, it says the DP, it says the increasement, it says it has 2 slots. It looks like this is really fucking good armor. So I guess at this point it's just comparing, does your like duo or tri armor have more defense points or any reason, or are you just waiting until full boss gear? Because boss gear will definitely trump this. Anything above tri, like tri or higher, will definitely trump this. Duo, you might consider this. The main thing though, the one thing to look at is not many items give you skill experience gained at all. So most people might even want this helmet literally just for grinding. In fact, if you already have a helmet like me where you have 2 experience crystals, this would be the perfect helmet to put those experience crystals in, because you also get skill experience. Like, how awesome would it be to have that as a backup helmet at all times? And yeah, this sword, by the way, will carry you a long way. And if you can get this sword when you have like a plus 12 sword or something, this will make you so overpowered. So this is an easy way to like bypass needing money if you're new at the game. If you can just somehow get these drops in media, it all depends on how rare it is. If you can buy this, maybe, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like you can buy it because I don't see a marketplace price on this. That's why it's just a little bit off-putting seeing the Korean, but I can still pretty much see everything that these have to offer. If you can't sell on marketplace, that's pretty interesting. I would assume you can trade it to your other characters on your account. I would hope. So hopefully once you get it on one character, it'll help you with all the other future characters. And like I said, I'll definitely get it just for the skill experience gain helmet, cause why not? It seems like a really good helmet. So one item that everyone will probably want, and a bunch of items that any new player would easily want, because they'll just save the money. It'll save the money until they can either buy a duo or have tons of stones to get it themselves. You won't have to worry about the +1 to 15 enchant if you get these items. So, alright, I'm done talking about that. Just really exciting stuff. I really think that this game is like future-proofing itself. I feel like even though a lot of these updates, I'm just going to go over this because I feel like a lot of people are going to say it, a lot of these updates aren't really catering to the endgame players. I really do feel like a lot of these updates they're adding are refining the game in a good way, and usually when a game tries to refine itself, it like destroys itself and then they just quit. But this game, like, it constantly gets better, even through like the shitty updates that not a lot of the hardcore fans like enjoy. They still like know about us. They still are. I mean, I don't know if they know about the elitists out there, but for most of the game, they're still trying to push it forward and give us quality of life updates, which is nice. So, I'm pretty sure we have a lot more stuff to get through. Whoa guys, it's time to talk about the huge creature we saw in the beginning. Vel, the Heart of the Ocean, which was first revealed April Fan Festival, is a gigantic ocean raid boss that looks like a combination of different marine animals, and as shown in the trailer, it'll be at least 10 times bigger than a sailboat and rise from the deep sea with some submerged rocks. Super important, with some submerged rocks. Also, add a little bit of thunder and lightning in there, like holy shit. If you guys saw that trailer, I mean, there's a lot of rocks in there. Like, it's gonna be a maze to get to him, and then once you get to him, it's probably just gonna be like who can shoot the most shit at him until he kills everyone. Alright, so this raid will straight up fail unless the players work together. There must be multiple Aphria sailboats and Aphria convoys attacking the Vel with enough snipers to constantly shoot at the Vel. Sailing is also important in the raid, and most importantly, everyone must cooperate. This is crazy. Will the sailors need hunting as well? I'm curious if you guys want to hunt this together when it comes out in NA and EU, probably like a year from now, but when it finally does, I will definitely be participating in this. Most importantly because the reward we'll talk about in a second, but I have actually trained hunting and sailing. My hunting is literally a few days away from being artisan, which is a pretty good achievement. If anyone knows hunting, it takes a long fucking time to get there. However, sailing is like 10 times harder. Sailing takes so long. Nowadays, you're looked up upon if you have skilled sailing because that's the most important skill, and skilled takes a long ass time to get. There are barely any, if multiple, professional sailors. I would hope when this boss comes out, there's a lot more people at professional, but yeah, the struggle is definitely real for sailing. If you haven't read it already, I'm just gonna say it. He drops the best in slot alchemy stone, and it's gonna be crazy. I hope you get a ton of other stuff as well, but big rewards will be waiting for the players, the developer said. The reward will be as huge as the Vel itself. One of the rewards include Heart of Vel, the best alchemy stone in BDO. Heart of Vel will be the first orange rarity alchemy stone. It'll give all the buffs that a yellow sharp alchemy stone of destruction gives, and 3 AP. So I guess that means it starts at sharp, because it then says information on how to polish the stone has not been revealed yet, but that means you could polish it probably all the way to resplendent, right? So this really is the best in slot, the best you can get alchemy stone, because it's the strongest destruction alchemy stone with AP. What more would you need than AP? So more attack power, of course. It's gonna be crazy. It has been confirmed that you'll need new items to polish it, I guess. I think to polish it, or just in general. Vel's Crystal Powder and Mysterious Spirit Powder. So, interesting. That is what we'll get. That is what we'll need. It's crazy. It's gonna be really, really crazy, especially the first time anyone fights him. I can't wait. Alright, so I believe the rest is kind of minor stuff, but we still have more stuff with more pictures, and everyone likes pictures. So, this one is a new form of marketplace. I mean, I don't know how many people are gonna like this, but the Luxury Auction House. Items that are not obtained in the game or are extremely rare will be put up at the auction house. Golden map? Golden compass? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. That's asking too much. I mean, I don't want to see any of that. I mean, what would be extremely rare that would only be put up in this marketplace? I don't want to think about it. But items that are not obtained in the game, that could be interesting. Just a marketplace with new items? Sure. So I guess this marketplace puts up its own items and allows people to bid on them. So we can bid on stuff that hasn't even been in the game. These aren't real people selling it. This is like new items being put into the game, and we can bid on it. It's gonna be interesting. So one item that they include to mention, which I don't know this is how people are gonna think about this, includes EXP transfer ticket. It'll allow you to transfer one character's EXP to another character. What? If I have 2 level 60s, can I put the EXP of one level 60 on the other 60? Like, what? I don't know. That just seems sketch as fuck. It also includes Arsha weapons. First of all, are Arsha weapons the weapon skins that you can only get from the event from winning an Arsha tournament? Are they just now going to give that randomly in game through RNG? I don't like that either. So far 2 out of 2, like, really bad in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you guys want this, sure, but it's just kind of like weird things. Life skill EXP transfer tickets. That's even more broken. Life skill EXP transfer tickets and other rare items. I don't know, guys. I mean, it's just one scroll, one thing, but like, what if one guy got like 10 of them, was completely able to reroll, and like the rest of us are like stuck with RNG for the rest of our life? I mean, you can't just reroll like 10 life skills and like 3 to 5 characters, right? I don't know. But it's just crazy to think about now. Like, when I was first reading it, when I thought about it was new items that have never been in game, I was on board, but when they started mentioning those items, I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's kind of weird. Most of the updates in this batch of stuff I do like, but this particular one is meh. Now, we do have something I do like. This one, I mean, people will say it probably makes the game easier, but we can now camp. Basically camp out at a grinding spot and repair and buy pots, pretty much. The camping system will help your grinding experience and even more exciting. Okay, there are times when you have no choice but to leave your spot because your inventory weight are full and your gear is low on durability. Now, I just want to mention, if you have no inventory space and like weight increases from the Pearl Shop and stuff, the most average player would actually really benefit from this. Like, if we're talking like the people that already have max weight and are just talking about dumping your inventory, yeah, it's gonna make people grind faster, but it's gonna help people that don't buy these Pearl upgrades even more than it would the people that have bought this. So I actually like it. This is what I'm saying. I feel like they're refining the game. Like, I feel like this is something that they've kind of wanted since the beginning, but they never introduced it because they just haven't yet. But for a new player that's really limited on these limits, just being able to camp, this better not be a if this is a cash up item, I take back everything. This game's pay to win. But no, assuming that anyone can get this camp thing, this is going to make everyone's lives easier, especially people that don't buy weight in game. Right now, I would argue that if I was to try and sell this game to someone that has never played this game before, and I was going to buy them the game, I would also buy them pets and weight limit increasements if they found out, like, if they picked a main character. But like, now I would say you don't even need to worry about weight increasements if you can literally camp out a grinding spot. The only thing that I really hope they add is pets. They really need 4 free pets. Even if they're T1 pets that you can't ever upgrade, as long as they have the same like pickup speed as T1 pets right now, they just need to give free pets, and then they can give, and then I could be like, you don't need to buy anything in the cash shop and still enjoy this game, honestly. So I really do think that this camping is extremely good, especially since this game is a cash shop and allows you to get inventory space and weight from other methods. I really think this is going to make it so you really don't actually need to spend that money, and you can just camp in game and just sell your shit there. Like, I just keep saying it because it's pretty amazing. Like, you don't actually need carry weight if you can literally camp outside of a grinding spot. And also, something else I'll add, I bet this might be in the cash shop. I bet there's gonna be fancier tents. I bet you can have like fancier tents. I hope you can dye your tents. You know, have like a whole village. Maybe your maids will camp out your tent. Okay, now we're getting like cash shop ideas. But I don't know. It's just I'm sure there's gonna be tent fashion eventually if this is gonna be a thing in the game. So crazy stuff to think about. Now I feel like that's all the big bombs they've dropped. Other updates that are still in the pipeline include airships and climbing. That was released back in April, the fan festival, whatever. Airships and climbing are absolutely new to BDO, and there must be enough trials and experience before they get released. Totally understandable because, yeah, they seem to defy all the physics currently in game. So I don't know how they're going to do it, but it's going to be crazy. It'll definitely come someday. It seems like they keep announcing it. So very cool stuff. And they're also talking about the issues regarding costumes. I guess they're working on all like the fan winning costumes, but they can only make so many costumes at a time. They're trying to add as many costumes as possible, but you literally need like a whole team of like artists to make costumes. So they're, I guess, apparently hiring more people to do this. I don't know if they're like publicly announcing that they're hiring, but they said they're going to get more people to add more and more costumes. So that is everything. We covered everything. There's a lot of stuff there. I guess I started getting to a lot of my opinions there. I'm gonna be interested to see the comments. But just keep in mind, most of this was me just talking out of my ass, just reading this and responding right afterwards. In a few months' time, like when more of this actually has details among this, like if you look back in time at this video, it'll probably sound very dumb as always, but as far as just reading this and as far as how long I've played so far, this is my opinions on I guess this update, this amazing update. And this is kind of replacing the BDO Korean patch notes weekly, because there were no patch notes. My game loaded instantly, by the way. There was just this announcement. So next week we'll have NA and EU patch notes as well as Korean patch note weekly for Wednesday and Thursday, back to normal. But this has been a crazy new update. I was glad to read it all, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again, and goodbye.